Hi, and welcome to this week's episode. Hope you had a great week. It's been my first week back at work, and did everyone survive? Did we? I'll say I barely survived. Luckily, my work allows me to work from home 1 day a week, and I work from home Friday, which means I can be up really early to start working, and I can end my workday really early. You're not allowed to have a set day every week that you work from home, but I like to throw in a Friday every now and again, just because I love most of my co-workers. But even though I love them and I share an office with really, really wonderful women, it's just being around people, you know? It's just, ugh. So yeah. I think I might work from home on Wednesday. Just putting it out there. I have no meetings this coming week, so I have every day available to me except Monday, because we get cake on Mondays. Oh. Am I the only one who is like, we got an office-wide email from one of my co-workers who was like, and when I say office-wide, it's like 40 people. It's not all of the people in the actual building, it's just our offices or department. And we are going to Odense on the 3rd of February for a meeting, all of us. A lot of people are going. Well, all 40 of us, obviously. But a lot of people from around the country are going. And so one of the guys booked 6 of the cars we have available to us. Sent an email saying, hey, get back to me as soon as possible about whether you need, you can be a passenger or you could be a driver, how many are actually going on their own, who needs a spot, do we need more or less cars so we can book them, because they get booked up pretty quickly. And as I said, it's not just us going, it's a lot of people going, and I don't know how many from our location are going, so you know. And I just replied back to him saying, well, I don't need a spot going there because the meeting is on a Monday and it is in winter, so instead of having to get up, take the train to Horsens where I work, then getting in a car and driving to Odense on a Monday morning, I am actually going to go to visit my dad on Friday, staying overnight there, only having to go to Odense half an hour before the meeting starts. I mean, wouldn't you choose that option? So yeah, just wrote him saying, I didn't need a spot there, but I need a seat back. And really, if there's no spots available, I can take the train, no problem. It's just, well, I didn't say that to him, but you know. But I replied to him. Then we had like 5 emails replying to all on people needing a ride, or one was relevant, stating that, hey, I'm from this town we're going past, and I live pretty close to the motorway, so you can use my spot as a pickup spot if people want to go there who live in the area instead, and then we can drive on. Relevant. For others who just want to say, I need a spot, and that's just Friday around lunch. I wonder how many will be there Monday. But yeah, you don't need to know about my grievances with people who don't know the difference between reply and reply to all. We work with tech every day. We can't do a single step of our work without using a computer, without using IT systems, and people still use reply to all. I'd be scared of people. I'd be scared. I mean, if you knew where I worked. Anyway, I am wearing what is my first sewn garment in months. And even before I started this, I hadn't touched my machine in months. Well, not true. I made my mum the two sorry. I made my mum the two tops for her birthday, which was in the middle of October. And then I haven't sewn a single thing until I did the sleeves on this, which I then didn't work on until Friday when I sewed everything. And this is a very simple blouse. It is the Slow Sunday Iris blouse, which you can also do as a sort of jacket, open jacket like thing. It is in French. This is super simple. So, and I did take French in school, but that's a long time ago. And using my school French and a bit of Google Translate, I've found out a way to do all this. So yeah. Let me just show you. The fabric is from Stof or Stil, and when I saw it, I had to buy it. Unfortunately, there was only 1.5 meters left. I really wanted 2 meters because that could have made me a relaxed shirt, because this corduroy fabric here would have looked really nice in a shirt, but there wasn't enough. Stof or Stil is an online shop as well. It's a chain of shops. There used to be one here in Aarhus that closed down because they had financial problems, the entire chain had. But there's one in Horsens where I work, practically next to where I work. You have to cross the road. That's it. So that's nice. I like to take advantage of that. Anyway, I am right now tempted to go online and see if they have it online still, because I got the last from the location, but they might still have some online. So I might still be able to get my shirt. Who knows? Like I said, this is the Irish blouse, but because it is a corduroy, even though it is a soft one, I did fear that it could be a bit bulky, because the sleeves here, you have 2 ends that you just bind, and I'll show you. I decided to instead take these, modified the ends so they're not as long as they should be. it is supposed to be self-lined, meaning you, well, not self-lined, but it's supposed to have the same fabric on the inside. I thought that might be too bulky, so I decided to use just some lining fabric. And as you can see, I put a button here, which is permanently fixed. I don't know if you can hear weird sound. It might be my new neighbors. Anyway. No, well, I was going to say no modification outside of that. It is supposed to have, like, the edge is supposed to not be bound, but you're supposed to have, like, facings. And of course you're supposed to hem the hem, but I like the length, so I didn't want to take off any length by hemming it. Also, it is colourway, so it's easily crushed. So I was always going to line this using just regular bias binding, and I used some that I had lying around. Heather asked about this on Instagram. This is just pre-made cotton bias tape. You know, the folded kind. Basically, the seam allowance on this is only 1 centimeter. I know that a lot of American and English and Indie patterns like to use 5/8, so doing French seams on this was a bit interesting, because when you only have 1 centimeter, you have less to actually hide, and less fabric to do so. But what I do when I use bias tape for like a neckline, also did it for the hemline on this, which you can see here. What I do is simply take whatever I'm using, and on the right side unfold the top, so it's right side against right side. I use the fold to sew. On this it wasn't a problem to just go close to the neckline. This being cotton is rather stiff. You can get softer ones, which makes it easier to go around the curve and to ease it in. But yeah, sew it, then fold it in on itself. If you want a visible line, you can just fold it over like that, have it be visible and still hiding your seam allowance and your edges, or you fold it over completely like this and sew it down here. That way you have only your fabric visible and you have your seam allowance and raw edges completely covered. It's just, for me, it's just a faster way of doing it without doing the facing. Again, depending on what you're making, the fabric you're making it in, it's something you can do. In my Instagram post, you might also have seen that I used a label, which is this one from Kylie and the Machine. I also have this one, and I think I need some more of this style label from her, because they easily fit into any edge. And yeah, there are 8 in a pack, and you can get all different kinds. They are on Instagram, I see. part of me likes to put it in because then you can easily tell the front from the back, which you can't always easily do. I mean, there is a bit of difference in the neckline on the front and back here, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. So that's just an easy way to know your front from your back. So yeah, did some sewing. Can't guarantee that I'll do a lot of sewing, but see that there? That is actually a Charlie caftan in some, might be some Stof and Stil. I was going to say yarn, fabric as well. I've used on it. I worked on it before. I haven't actually worked on it this time around, but I brought it out and I pinned in the pockets. The Charlie caftan is a closet case pattern. I have made one version before. This is, pretty sure this is view A. Yeah. And it needs pockets and it needs the sides seamed, and of course it needs to be hemmed. So, you know, not a whole lot of work left, but just wasn't feeling it. Seeing as we're already talking about sewing, I'll just finish talking about sewing and we'll move on to the knitting afterwards. Because I was on Instagram yesterday. And Nielsen, which is then a Perth-based, and that's Perth, Australia, not Perth, Scotland, based designer of sewn garments, and she put out a new, come on, glare and it won't focus, and anyway, she put out a new pattern. There we go. It's the top. It's called Sudley. And one of the, well, all of the versions have a tie that you close the neck up with. You can see here. But this version also has a Peter Pan collar, which I think is really stinking cute. And you may remember that between Christmas and New Year's I went to the fabric mill and bought some different fabrics. One of them was this. Now, this is not really my style. I'm not really into big floral patterns. My dad really liked it, and I mean, it's not ugly. I couldn't envision what it wanted to be. So, but I bought it anyway. I bought 2 meters. It needs to be a Sudley. And I already bought the pattern. And what I'm going to do is this is going to be view A, which is the one with the Peter Pan color. Without the ties in the back, I'm going to put in a button and maybe use some elastic thread as a button loop. That seems the simplest version to do. But I'm going to use the sleeves from this view because this fabric has a nice long sleeves shirt feel, but it is a very slippery fabric, so don't want to make a shirt out of it. But this seems like a really nice option. And it is fully reversible, meaning that you can use it with the Peter Pan color in the front, or you can use it with the, well, I'm going to use a button, in the front and the keyhole. And of course it's going to be oversized and really drapey. And that might be next on my cutting board. As you can see, I printed the pattern. It's a PDF pattern because I might be able to get this from meter, but I would have to go there. It's a newly released pattern, so I'm not even sure if they have it yet. And I really want to strike while the iron's hot because I felt really inspired to, and luckily I had already washed this, so I feel really inspired to do this. And I think it could look really cute with both jeans and a skirt and whatever. So yeah, I need to feel motivated to do any sewing, and I am feeling motivated because I just love the look of this, and I love the vision. So yeah, it also comes in a dress variation, which I'm not crazy about. I think it's the proportions. The proportions are a bit off somehow. Like your waist, it has like an elongated waist, but it just hangs there. So yeah. I just had the horrible thought, did I press record? Anyway, those are my sewing plans. I need to finish this caftan, and it'll be quick. And then I need to cut out the pattern. I already printed all of it out. I like how, well, it doesn't say on this one. Or is it just too faint for me to see? I think it's just too faint for me to actually read it. But in the PDF it actually tells you, okay, if you're going to do this one, you need to print pages 1 to, this is 1 to 22, and then 49 to 51 to get the pattern pieces you need. Because obviously I don't need these 3 pattern pieces here. I need these 3, these 2, and then not the tie but the bias binding for the keyhole. Yeah. And I could go and check the patterns to see what pages I need, but really it's easier if the designer tells me. So yeah, sewing plans. I have them. Maybe I'll do something about them. Before I completely fell in love with the Sudley, my next plan was to actually make the Georgie dress by Sew over in London in the knit fabric. I got the fabric mold, but that's just been postponed. Maybe I'll still do it. I was also going to check to see if I could make a true bias cami out of the leftovers from this. I'm not sure I have enough. I might just have enough. Obviously this isn't the only piece I have. This is just the most convenient piece I had close to me. If I can maybe get that out of it. If I can't, then Jane, my co-worker, is going to get a project bag out of the leftovers. Because there is enough for that. There's more than enough for that. And she really admired this fabric. I should really check if I can get like make it be 2.5 meters. maybe the Archer button-up shad would be really nice. Even though I'm told it has 14 pattern pieces. But this is a sturdy fabric, so it doesn't move around, it's not so long, so it's easy to cut, trace and cut. So yeah, it just feels like such a nice button up, relaxed feel. Knitting. Well, I've done a lot of knitting, but let's just start with this one, my Honey and Wool by Andrea Mowry. And I haven't had a whole lot of progress. I ended it here because the first skein ran out. And really, it's not been a whole lot of progress. I should say that between this and here there's been like 1 or 2 increased rows. There's a crossover row, which is really the one that slows me down. But yeah, could do with some love. I think it needs a lot of love here in the coming week. Don't you? It's a bit sad how little progress this has had, because I love working with the yarn. It's really soft and squishy. The color is phenomenal. The yarn is Sysleriget, and it is the rusty colourway. She just put up a golden colourway yesterday. I haven't bought any yarn yet this year, which sounds a lot better when you don't mention that it's the 12th of January. One day at a time. I sound like an addict, don't I? Really, it's more a case of I have too much yarn. Anyway. Really love this. This needs a lot more love than it has been given. It's been on the back burner because other projects have just been worked on so much more. And as you can see, we've transitioned down to a spot where, I don't really know how. Here you have a hexagon, and then you have a big non-hexagon before you get a hexagon again. And really, this is a round yoke, as you can tell. And the increases are right now only done in these really big open spaces. And I think the garter stitch really helps mask that it's not done evenly. Well, it is done evenly. It smells so nice. It smells sort of sweet. It smells sort of Christmassy. Well, not the yarn, but what it's been exposed to. If you're distracted by the screen, I just noticed it on the screen. If you're distracted by the screen thing, yes, I have chocolate on the sofa behind me. It hasn't been opened, but I really felt like eating chocolate last night, and I brought it on the sofa with me, and I also have a Snickers bar because I didn't know what kind of chocolate I wanted. Obviously, the answer is neither, as both of them are unopened. I know. God. Both the one day at a time yarn thing and the chocolate thing really makes me look like an addict. I can quit at any point Sorry, got distracted. Anyway, wool and honey needs some love, so I can get it done, so I can wear it, so I can love the squish out of it. Love the color. Really love the color. Love the way it shines. Imagine what it would look like in a merino cashmere or something with silk in it, with a bit of shine. Oh, you know. I wonder if Merino does anything with silk, and if she does, not kid silk mohair or whatever silk mohair, but like a merino silk. And if she does, if she dyes this color on it, which is a moot point because I'm not going to buy any yarn. I need to use the yarn I have because, well, it needs love too. Squishy. I also have Golden Moon on the needles, which is a Vera Velamaki pattern. I say I have Golden Moon on. I think I have like the short rows of the yoke before the color work starts. Pretty sure that's all I have. And I also have not Charles Leclerc. In the Bojo's Brexit Bonanza by Countess of Lace colorway. I now have the front piece, or back piece, I think it's the same. And I have the ribbing and maybe one repeat of the front back. What I have been knitting on, because as I said, I have been knitting a lot. And being tired from working again, it's dark, it's bleak, it's raining. I had 2 weeks off, then had to go back to work. It was torture, but I still worked. So knitting stockinette was really, really easy and soothing to my poor tired brain. So my Sonrae, which is by Jennifer Steinngass, Knit Love Wool, grew from having just ended the color work to having knit the body and one sleeve, and having started the second sleeve. I started this 9 days ago, and I'm knitting this out of Filcolana Pernilla, which is a sport weight wool. This is the Dijon colourway. The white is the Marzipan. And it's on 3.75mm needles, and yeah, as I said, started it 9 days ago. In less than 2 weeks, I could have completed an entire sport weight jumper with color work, which kind of blows my mind, but again, as I mentioned last week, I'm kind of obsessed with this, and it is now at a point where I've tried it on a lot. None of the ends are woven in, evident by the hole I have here in the middle of the chest. Oh. And it's warm. It is warm, because that's what wool jumpers are. I really want to try and get this done before we hit the 2 week mark, which is kind of I know. Kind of obsessive, and I'm not competitive at all. It has nothing to do with being competitive, it's just, I wonder if I can do it. Can you understand why Wool & Honey is over in its little bag, crying its little woolly eyes out? But if I finish this, which is a sleeve, which in a little while begins having decreases, I mean, it is just a repeat of this. With all the dangly little colourful cocoa knits stitch. Stitch markers. Come on. Focus. Well, you know, don't. It's like using the blurring tool on Photoshop. And obviously the slow going part of this is the color work on the sleeve, but it is only on, is it 80 stitches, something like that. The sleeves are too long, they're slightly too long. That's okay, I can live with that. And they are long sleeves, as you can see, but you know, I can live with pushing them up because I knit the colourwork part on, everything else is on a 3.75, the colourwork part is on a 4mm needle, so there is some give to it, and I can push it up my arm. Obviously the colourwork, well, all of it, needs a wash to even out everything. But yeah, other than that, it's looking pretty good, pretty even. And I do love colourwork. So yeah, that is all for this week. Next week, hopefully my Charlie Caftan will be done. Hopefully I will have at least cut out the pattern pieces for either the Sudley or the Georgia dress. The Sudley. It is only, let's see, it's a front and a back, it's 2 sleeves, it's a collar and an undercollar, and bias facing. It's not small intricate pieces. Still have to be really careful about pinning everything and really making sure that it doesn't, the problem is not, it doesn't have any stretch that might move around as some viscose might have. I don't think this is a viscose, it's very, it feels like satin. I think it is satin, but it's very slippery. Have to look out for that. At least these blocks of colour, or stripes of colour, makes it easier to see where to check that it's that I've got everything centered. Because you could in theory just follow one of the lines and have that go down the middle. If that's your jam. I'll have to look at it. I'll have to lay down and look at it. See all of it. Anyway, covered my room out. As I said, that is all. I hope you have a great week. I hope... Well, I know we all survived week 1 back at work. We'll survive week 2 as well. Yeah. I know we will. We're good like that. See you next time. Bye.